nearly 700,000 people from outside the EU applied to live in Britain.
We've got to prove that you've got at least £200,000. Where is that money coming from?
To succeed, they must navigate our controversial immigration system.
It is an impenetrable jungle of judicial decisions.
There's been so many doors just closed.
Somebody like me who follows these things very closely literally doesn't know what the law is on a given day.
Every decision the Home Office makes will have life-changing consequences.
If I go to Cameroon now, they'll kill me.
So there's news reports of people being killed there?
Yeah, many people.
I'm sick of it. I am so sick of it. Hey, Mommy,
These are the men and women desperate to live in the UK.
I am the right type of person to come to Britain.
I can't go back.
But who will get in?
Doesn't look like we can get married now.
We have about 235,000 more people come here than leave. And this can't go on.
If I was to be detained tomorrow, what should I do?
Do you know what? I should have left. I should have hoovered before you came.
29-year-old Shankea is an illegal immigrant. She came to the UK 17 years ago to live with her Jamaican father. But he failed to secure permanent status for Shankea. It was only picked up when she applied to university.
When it was time to fill in my student finance form, my dad brought to my attention, you don't have your NI number and you do not have your legal status in the country, so you can't go to university.
Shankea has so far had 4 applications to remain in the UK turned down.
This is my refusal letter from the Home Office, and it says, your application and human rights claim is refused. And these are the reasons for refusal. Eligibility is not accepted. You have lived continuously in the UK for at least 20 years. Consequently, you fail to meet the requirement of paragraph 268, right? Human immigration rules, like normal citizens know what that means. You're not age 18 and under 25. Consequently, you fail to meet the requirement of paragraph 268 ADE. You have stated that you have many friends in the UK. However, these friendships can be maintained by modern communication methods. That was a slap in the face. Slap in the face.
Shankea's life now is very different from her childhood in Jamaica.
I was 12 when I came to the UK, 12 and 10 months. And I mean this with no disrespect, but I became aware that I was black. Because everyone at the time there was white. And I was just like, oh, you know. When I started to attend secondary school, I felt British because my friends were British and my experience were British. Going to Croydon on a Saturday, you know, just to walk up and down with your friends, you know, pizza from the chippy, you right mate, or tar love, and all these things, you know, and we used to have this thing in it from back in the day, in it. I thought Britain wanted me, but now I'm illegal and I don't have a legal ground to stand on. And because of this notion, I'm liable to be deported.
I come across a lot of cases of people who are here lawfully in the first place, but they've made some sort of, quite often, very minor mistake in the way that they made an immigration application. And the consequences of doing it wrong are dreadful, because you suddenly become an overstayer, you're committing a criminal offence by remaining in the UK, you've lost everything sometimes.
As an illegal immigrant, Shankea has very limited rights.
If you don't have your status in the UK, you can't get a job, you can't claim benefits, and you cannot get social housing.
She is caught up in an immigration policy that's become known as the hostile environment.
The hostile environment is essentially making it as hard as possible for people to remain here when they shouldn't be here.
The purpose of the hostile environment is to ensure that the individuals simply wouldn't be able to live, work, obtain services. It would be so hostile that they would then decide that they were going to go home of their own free will.
Shankea lives in Peterborough, and her friend Linda is now trying to help with her case.
Hi Linda, how are you? Mwah.
This is so important, you know.
I read about Shankea in our local newspaper. We've met. I asked how I could help and started a petition. We're friends now. It makes me feel very angry. She could give so much if only she was allowed to. She's not allowed to work.
Shankea hasn't found a legitimate reason for staying in her last 4 applications. Today, she is getting legal advice to see if she can apply a 5th time.
So as things stand at the moment, the case is non-existent. You know, all avenues have been exhausted. So the question then is, what do we do here and after? And there are a number of suggestions. The first one is further representation. There is a second option, which I don't think we've discussed previously before, but it's something that's becoming, I think, more and more relevant, and it's perhaps an application for humanitarian protection.
Okay then.
Effectively, it's an application for asylum. So you're saying that going back is not an option because you would be at risk of persecution or harm. And we have these independent reports from Amnesty International, the Human Rights Watch, the US State Department's report, and they all indicate that women, single women, are at risk, and there is evidence to support that. Now, I do remember seeing somewhere earlier that you were on some medication for the stress.
I mean, I've suffered from a chest problem where I've been in the ambulance to the hospital where my chest felt like there's bricks on it. My doctor did say they had a suspected case of pericarditis.
Well, that's good. This is useful information.
Yes.
So my advice would be to see if we can instruct a clinical psychiatrist to examine you, to interview you, and then to prepare a report. So we can look at. So we can make. Sorry, my.
No, it just started to get tight. I'm sorry, this really happened. I'm sorry.
Are you okay? Do you want some water or something?
Can I have some water, please? Sorry.
Anna.
Yeah, it's like my muscles just got really tight.
Sorry, could we get a glass of water in here, please?
It's very stressful.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good at not showing it, but your body's showing it, I think.
There is a reasonable prospect of Shankea being detained and removed from the UK. She appears to be reaching the end of her legal arguments that she can put forward.
The hostile environment is not some sort of monstrous draconian act of illiberalism. It is running a border. That is ultimately what it is. Illegal immigration is a hugely corrosive thing in inner city Britain. Tens of millions of people come to this country every year, and we have to have some way of making sure that the people who are not meant to stay don't stay.
With many of these hostile environment measures, there's absolutely no way to tell whether they are having an impact. All that these measures have done is made life considerably harder for vast numbers of people and drive people into the kind of insecurity and vulnerability that actually leads to more exploitation, not less.